And good morning from Scotty Ray and Candace. Hump Day.
It is, middle of the week.
So we finally made it this far. You were just talking about just how windy and chilly you got coming in.
Oh my gosh, I opened my car door just a little bit and the wind blew it all the way open. I mean, I thought it had broke my car door because when I went to shut it, it popped. But anyway, yeah, it's cool out there. I can't believe how cool it is.
Yeah, I was going to see where we're at. We started out at 48 this morning, and it's dropped a little bit as I go back and check. We're at 46 right now.
Gosh.
Now, it's only going to get to 62. So, and then you multiply in with the wind, that 20-mile-an-hour gust, it's going to be cold.
I mean, there's snow north of us.
Kentucky's got some.
In like Ohio, did they have some snow? I mean, yeah, I saw where somebody was in like a snowstorm last night. So.
I saw a picture that was pretty cute. A guy that had grass yay tall. He was out with a push mower in the snow trying to mow what he could. It was cute.
Yeah, this is just crazy weather. I mean, in May.
I know.
I mean, not May, but April, almost May. I mean, you almost like winter weather. I mean,
Yeah,
it's just crazy.
In less than 10 days, you'll be off into May.
Yeah.
Now, what I want
know
to
it.
point out is we got some severe weather that is headed this way. 2 rounds of this. We'll have it coming in Friday night into Saturday. And there's been lots of talk about proms, what's going to happen, can my kids go? And it should end, all the rain be over by that night.
Okay.
It's backed up a few hours, and we're going to have this stuff moving in Friday night in the overnight hours. Let's look at this as we got a radar. This is the forecasted severe weather Friday night. Now, again, this is going to shift over a little bit more on Saturday morning, take in probably most of Lauderdale County. But as we back out and look at this is a pretty large storm. Now, out in this area, right out here in the Dallas-Fort Worth areas where it's more concentrated, most likely would be more of the tornadic activity. But we can't rule it out. Now, we're in that same pattern, but expect it out here. We can't rule it out here as we look at Mississippi here, down to Hattiesburg. And it's going to be the southwest corner of Lauderdale County, central Clark County, and then taking in parts of Wayne, all of Jones down in here, Jasper counties, and most of Newton will get into this. And above this line in Kemper and these areas here are 1. Now, the National Weather Service ranks the next day all of this area here as a 2. So as the morning hour shifts, it'll be a little bit more dangerous weather that approaches us. As a matter of fact,
That's Friday?
Yeah, Friday night.
Into Saturday morning.
Correct.
Okay.
And then Saturday morning, this is the way it will. This is fire danger. Let me move that over to where we've got. This is the line here as we move into Saturday morning, taking in that one area there in Lauderdale County, as we'll see there. In the Friday night, it just barely clips the corner, the southwest corner. And as you go into after midnight, it will increase pretty much across central Lauderdale County, the whole county there from a Suba line all the way across just below Collinsville. So a lot to watch. We'll be on top of it here throughout these hours here. And again, you can't rule out any severe weather with this because gusts of 60, 70 miles an hour, that's strong.
Yeah.
Hail, and then as again, you can't rule out that tornado, but we will watch roughly looking somewhere around the 27th or the 28th for severe weather. Now, it could be pushed by day, so we hadn't got the exact date of it coming, but severe weather next week. And that brings about, you brought up the election that we're going to have the runoff, which is
Tuesday.
next.
Yeah, next Tuesday.
Very important to go vote because you're stuck with your decision for 4 years. And so many times, less than a third of the people even show up to vote on these things. So.
That's right. So, if you don't vote, don't complain.
That's right. Because you're stuck with what the third of the people decide to do without you doing something.
That's
so,
right.
so do that.
I know.
I saw this, and I thought this was just too cute not to share. They shared this. This was, let me pull this up. Here we go. This is a kid that is getting baptized. And as you look at
Son,
this.
and of the Holy Spirit. Go, George! You in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Anyway, I thought I'd share that with you. That
is cute.
That is a very cute clip of someone getting baptized, and he was excited over it.
He was excited. That was cute. Just do it.
It's always good for kids to get baptized. It keeps them in church, keeps them off the streets, and that's good.
Right, it is. I mean, I think it's important for them to understand.
Yes.
Be old enough to understand what they're doing and why. But it is a good thing.
In the news this week, and of course, this is a case that is known nationwide. Justice for Christian. This is, I don't care just about where you're from. You've heard of this by now.
Right.
And as you look at the pictures of this, of course, this is Christian Andreacchio. His mother, Ray, addressed the city council, I believe it was yesterday, and there was documents that were leaked to a fake Facebook page. And, of course, I haven't seen any of this.
I haven't either.
Documents that she had to pay a lot of money for that was released to the city, and then they were leaked out. And she addressed going, how did this happen? And, of course, no answer was given because it's a legal matter. We'll see where all this goes. But a lot of people would like to know more about this.
You know, it's one thing to have to go through the turmoil of losing a child, and then you have all this other chaos going on that you're trying to manage this, manage that, and get something done all at the same time. So, I mean, I really feel for the family.
And then on top of that, they did get something done to where in the future, autopsy pictures cannot be.
Yes.
That is good.
I think it's Christian's law. Or
Yeah.
something that had gone into effect. Yeah.
No one would want to see their child done that way. I
That's
don't
right.
care who you are. That just doesn't need to happen. So, so maybe a bright spot for them as they move forward in their seek for justice.
Yeah. That's a whole nother level of
Yeah.
of disrespect. I
And
mean,
they're again,
having
there's
something
so,
like that happen, leaking of autopsy pictures. It's
and I am not up to date. As there are a lot of people that follow this stuff that know every moment of everything that's happening, and I'm not. Is the
Yeah.
word up to date or educated as well as I should be on all of it? But
we just hope the best,
yes,
for the family, and we just continue to pray for them going through all of this.
yeah, it known them a long time, and right here from our community. So we do wish them best with that. Let's see here, things that are going on. This I don't know how you feel about this. This is a headline. Let me pull this up to where you can see this. This is a headline that broke just a little bit ago, right here. A Norfolk police officer has been fired for donating anonymously to the Kyle Rittenhouse Defense Fund. Now, from all across the United States, people gave money for his lawyers. Is it fair that he's fired because he gave to that?
I mean,
What's
if it was
everybody's
an
opinion?
anonymous donation, I don't know who.
But even if it wasn't, is it okay to donate to a cause that you want to on your time?
I mean, I would think that you could. I don't see. I mean, that would be his right. I would think.
Because I know
Unless
that
there's something in his contract of his work that he does not get involved in something like that. I mean, that
then
he signed. I mean,
well, the future vice president of the United States gave to a lot of those Antifa groups to
Right.
get them out of jail.
But as we know, there's double standard. I mean, just like yesterday when all the verdict was read and all that, and then the president and vice president come on and give their 2 cents. I don't think they should even have been involved.
Yeah,
in
before
that.
the verdict was given, that's where it got.
But then after, I think.
Yeah, they
then
did come back on.
Yeah, they came back on and then started talking about, racism and all this other kind of stuff that I just think is continually, shouldn't have been said. So there's double standard,
There is.
So I think that it should have been fine that he donated to something that he thought was a good cause. But like I said, unless it was something in a contract.
Yeah, and I get that. We don't know what his
Right.
contract said.
Right.
As the verdict was read yesterday, this is what's going down with this. 75 years is what he faces in prison. Now, we've all seen it. He did something wrong.
Yeah.
And justice was served. A set of peers judged him, and that's the way it is. But y'all know this, too. That's what they call dead man walking.
Yeah.
When he goes to
Right.
prison, y'all know what is coming from him, the rape, the beatings, and he is on suicide watch at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's a bad situation.
Number
Either
one,
way, it's a bad situation.
number one, if you're a cop and you go to jail,
Yeah.
it's not good for you. But you take the magnitude of this case and put someone like that in there. All right, and then this is what I don't know. Maybe you've read up on this. The other officers that are charged, when do they come to trial? Is it immediately or would that be later?
I guess it's coming up, but I don't know. I cannot remember what their charge will be.
It's
or
lesser
what they're
than-
facing. Yeah.
And I don't know as much about that part of it because this has been the focus and what I've seen so much of.
Yeah, because they just stood by and didn't do anything. I
Yeah.
guess it's like,
And you should. I don't care who you are. If you see somebody getting hurt, once you're in handcuffs, it's a whole new ball game.
Yeah.
You're no longer a threat. You're down. And the man clearly was no threat.
And, this verdict yesterday, I mean, I believe that justice was served. I mean, they did convict the man, and he is going to prison. But still, this is not enough for some people. It's still it's just not enough. I mean, I don't think anybody's ever going to be happy. Not everybody is never going to,
Correct.
totally be happy. So, I don't know. I just think that I don't think people want people to come together in this country. Some people don't.
No,
because if they can keep us divided, then they have the upper hand. So,
right, and this leads into the next thing that clearly the police officer, if you look at the pictures of this, had rights to do, and you've got to remember how anyone at this point in the United States would want to be a cop, fresh going into this. I don't know how. It has to be, because you and I were talking about how hard it is right now for fast food places to get employees. Or I talked to a construction worker yesterday that said, I can't hire anybody. They don't want to come. Why?
Yeah.
There's free money.
Yeah, it's free money going out. And like I read the other day that starting in July, people are going to start getting money for their children every month. Like everybody should get a check for, I think, under 6 years old. It's like $300 a month.
And so
6 to 17 and that's per child. And then 6 to 17, I want to say, is like $200 or $250 a month. So
if you've got 4 to 5 children, $300 doesn't sound like a lot, but you throw that's.
Yeah, if you got 5, that's $1,500 a month.
Right, extra income.
If you have children of the age to get $300, but I mean, so I'm not saying getting money is not a good thing. I'm sure it helps out, but I mean, don't quit your job because you get a check every month, because that ain't going to last forever.
Yeah, it's going to end, or at least we think it is.
Right. And I don't know. I've said this 100,000 times. I feel like, I don't know where this money's coming from or where it's going to be replenished from. So
if you get up and you put your pants leg on and go to work, you will pay for this eventually.
Right.
It's going to come out of your check at some point. Now, again, anybody that needs help, we're not saying they don't need help. Don't take what we're saying wrong.
That's exactly right. I mean, I know people need help, but you don't quit your job or just not go to work because you're getting a check. I mean, you still need to work because, like I said, that's not going to last forever.
Because
put it back for a hard time later on.
You can't leave the faucet on because you can't just keep printing money over and over. It's just.
I mean, I've heard so many people say like they're going to fast food restaurants. We had to wait in line forever because they only had so many people working tables.
Yeah.
So you're waiting forever. Because I went in like even Cracker Barrel the other day. They had the whole back part of the restaurant closed off, and they just had the front dining hall open because I mean, the only thing I could think is that they just didn't have enough workers.
When you bring that up, I went in Waffle House here in North Hills 3 weeks ago. The poor lady that was the cook was the only one that showed up to work, and she was trying to wait the tables, cook, and she was just honest. She goes, "They didn't show up. I apologize," and she was doing her best.
Yeah,
she deserves a star for what she was doing.
Yeah, I mean, and if you go downtown, even in our town right here, there's signs outside of restaurants hiring. I mean, everybody's got these signs out. It's not just restaurants, though. I mean, it's other businesses, too. So, if you need a job, there's plenty of them out there.
Yeah, we'll do some good mornings in a minute. But this is what we were going to bring up, a new incident for a new cause. And it's very hard to imagine that they can take something with this and twist it into something else. But it is America these days. The cops were called in Columbus, Ohio. Let me get up here to it. And Fox News has a good picture of this. They get there, and it's a 15-year-old girl that is in a fight. And they called and reported that the girl had a knife. And she's getting ready to stab another child. As you'll see there's the knife, and she's going at it. And that's when the police officer shot her. It's a woman cop. They released that video as quick as they could last night to the general public for everybody to see that. Now, is it horrible that a 15-year-old...
Is that the girl right there?
No, it's someone who witnessed it right there. I'm trying to think. Let me go back up here and see if I can find the picture.
So she had stabbed people?
She had not. She pulled it out. She hadn't stabbed anybody yet. When they pulled up, she had the knife and was getting ready to cut the girl. That the website updated, and I can't get a good picture of her at the moment.
Yeah, some people might say, they shouldn't have acted, but what do? You stand there and wait on her to, I mean, she could have stabbed her one time and killed her.
Yeah.
Or whoever she was trying to attack.
Yeah, I'm not getting a good picture of this
my
now.
goodness.
All it takes is one update, and I lose what I'm doing. But, that's what happened yesterday in Ohio. And to my knowledge, there were no major protests last night. Nothing burned that I'm aware of, which is good.
Right.
No riots, I guess, is a better word for that. But again, at all costs, our nation needs prayers.
Yes, I mean it's every day is something new. Multiple things a day.
Yes.
So
Let's see some good mornings. We got a few folks watching this morning. We appreciate y'all. Linda Culpepper says, have a blessed and wonderful Wednesday there. Also, Reggie McKee is up watching us.
Charlene Gaddy, happy hump day.
Yay! We deserve that. I like that day.
Yeah.
Miss Joyce Stamper is up. Good morning to you.
Chip Falgott, good morning to y'all. And Sandy Hemingway Clark says good morning.
Yeah, me and her went to high school together many moons ago. Linda Jane, how are you this morning? Blackberry winter is what she's calling this little storm system going through.
Okay.
All the way from Newton, Mississippi, Miss Shine Pogue. How are you doing?
Milton Seville says good morning, and it is a pretty morning. It's just
It
a cool
is.
morning.
Wear your thermals if you're going outside.
That's right. Let's see. Donna Roseman's watching, and Kim Volking says good morning.
So Ruth Key is up and Adam. Chad Acton is out there. Good morning there. Also, Josh Fitzgerald. Political foes should keep their noses out of it, is what he says.
That's
A lot of
right.
points to that.
Jeremiah Johnson's in Seattle, and he says good morning.
Seattle would have to be cold right
I bet it is.
I hadn't looked at it on a map here in the last little bit, but Seattle.
Let us know what it's doing where you are.
Yeah, burr.
Yeah. Josh Fitzgerald says socialism at its best.
There's a bunch of it out there.
It is.
Tajetta 2, how in the world are you this morning? Our grandkids and great ones will be paying for this.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. Yeah.
If we still have a country by then.
I know. That's what I'm afraid of, because I keep saying, where's this money coming from? Where's it going to come from? What I'm worried about, and, I'm wondering that we're in major debt. Where this money is coming from, I'm afraid it's from, like, China.
Yeah, and we've borrowed way too much from China already.
Right. I mean, like, what if they say, okay, we want our money back today, like ASAP? I mean, there's no way. There's no way they could replenish it and, like, pay it back. So, anyway.
And yet we give
Scary
money
stuff.
to other countries by the billions when our
Right.
people need it.
Bailey Grace says that we're so right. Yes, that's my aunt.
Oh, is it? Hey there, Miss Bailey. Ruth Key is up. They had 2 workers at Belk, she said. Yeah, that's
Well,
that's,
I think that's been for a while. I don't know what's going on there. It's just like you walk in and you're like, are y'all closing? What's going on?
What store is it that I saw that is closing from the mall again? It's another chain store that's going to be.
I don't know.
And I forgot. It's another one that's in there that has announced that they're moving the store from Meridian to Tampa, Florida. And I can't remember which one it was. I'd have to. I don't want to say the wrong one. Is why I'm not.
I had to ask my brother. He works down there, so he would know. Joyce Godwin says good morning, and LaWanda Grantham. Our world is a mess right now. Yes,
You
it
ain't
is.
never lied. Elmer Talbert, good morning from MD Anderson Cancer Center in Houston there. I hope everything's going well for you, Elmer. We appreciate you watching there in Houston, Texas.
Yes.
Let's see. Carolyn Sharp also watching this morning. She got us on YouTube on the big screen. And you can do that. If you've got a smart TV, you can throw this up on the screen and watch it that way. Pretty neat deal.
Yeah, that is. We don't have a smart TV yet. So.
You don't?
Not yet. We don't. We just have the flat screen regular.
What you
not a
got
smart
to be
TV.
careful, and let me warn you this: if you've got your iPhone there and you're thumbing through pictures, and if you accidentally hit a button, whatever you're looking at on your phone will go up on the big screen.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So you have to watch that.
Oh gosh, we have a smart TV at our work in the shop, and I just think it's odd, like because if it's way up high, and I guess the sensor would be up high,
Yeah.
So I don't. It must sense people walking in front of it, and if it's had no action in a while, it'll go off.
Wow.
That's just odd to me. I don't know what.
So something to keep in
Anyway.
mind. Let's see. Casey Culpepper says a PSA: don't litter, and you're right. We don't need to.
Yeah, they're trying hard to get things cleaned up. I mean, the the hub.
Yeah, all this week.
Yeah,
East
they're
Mississippi
getting things.
Hub.
I've seen people all over town, and I think that's great. I think it's a great thing, and I think they're taking volunteers. So.
And we got a name of the store. It's FYE. That's the name of it that is leaving
Okay.
Meridian. And they are moving it to Tampa,
Now,
Florida.
that's the one that has like music and
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. Kind of like used to be like the sound shop.
Yeah.
Type stuff. Yeah.
It was bought out, and they're consolidating to the towns that have more foot traffic. And,
Okay.
and we get it. Malls will become a thing of the past. And there's lots of reason behind that across America, but those are becoming extinct.
Well, a lot of people are buying online.
Yes.
And I'm not saying that's an awful thing, but I mean, for people, especially local businesses,
It hurts.
it does hurt.
And if you've got a local business, you need to also learn how to start getting into the online business to stay ahead of this curve.
Yeah. But like, these big chain businesses, they can support themselves. But local businesses who are trying to make it, just like these restaurants. And
They
stuff
need
too,
you.
It's hard to make it.
Yeah. Appreciate Alicia Fisher passing that along to us. Also, Chad did. And is that Alan Nicholson also brought that up.
That's right. And Bailey Gray says that we have to remember the Lord is in control.
Ooh,
And
yeah.
I do believe that. He is in control.
Bruce Aiken, thank you for watching there. And that's Tammy, how do you pronounce that?
Bellantani.
Bellantani, thank you for watching. We appreciate you also joining us this morning. I was looking back over some of the things that went on today, and we bring up the United States, and you always compare things to Rome. Rome was founded upon this date, 750 BC.
Okay.
And Rome went away, and they didn't think it ever would. That's why I say that, because it 1865, on this date, was when the Lincoln train departed Washington, D.C. with Lincoln's body. They carried him to 180 different cities before they would lay him in his grave there in Illinois. And what is interesting about it, the train that carried Lincoln was burned in 1911 by a sage fire. Got out of control and burned the train down. And of course, that would be probably a national treasure at this point.
Right.
But the train did burn. Interesting, I found that. Mark Twain died on this date. And of course, Huckleberry Finn, what else did he do? Tom Sawyer, big ones there.
Oh, yeah.
But Mark Twain passed away on this date. Thought you might want to know that. And this one, I've heard the name Red Baron all of my life. Never really looked into it. But he died on this date in 1918 in World War I. He was a German fighter pilot. He was very good at what he done, and the Red Baron is how that came about. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I didn't realize that either. But
So never too old to learn something, I guess.
I learn something every day on this show about history.
I didn't realize this, but they call this probably one of the first rockabilly songs that was ever recorded. 1947, it becomes Hank Williams' biggest song so far with Move It On Over, because the Fat Dog's moving in, and they consider that to be rockabilly.
Oh.
I like the song. Hank Jr. redone it, if all y'all remember that. If you rode around on dirt roads in Mississippi, you definitely had a copy of that album. 1956, number one on this date, Heartbreak Hotel.
Okay. Well, that's a big hit for Elvis.
And then 1962, he released on the same day, Good Luck Charm. You remember that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Good Luck Charm. I don't know the rest of the words.
That's the
But I
main,
cannot
the main,
sing.
He knows the main line.
Yeah. Let's see. 73, I know you know this.
What?
Because it was big, because there were ribbons everywhere. Tie a yellow ribbon around the old oak tree. Number one by Tony Orlando and Dawn on this date in 73. You remember that?
Well, I was born in 74, but I do remember the song. Like,
Okay.
it's come up since.
74.
then,
So there's 5 years in between you and I?
Yeah.
Ooh, makes me feel old. Against All Odds. Do you remember that by Phil Collins?
Uh-huh.
Number one in 1984.
And wasn't there a movie?
Yes, sure was.
It was a movie called
You
that.
Coming Back is Against All. It was a cool song. Give him credit for that. Randy Travis also had a number one song on this date with On the Other Hand.
Yeah.
Paul
I
Overstreet
just
wrote
heard
it.
that the other day. That song, because I listen to the old country, and I listened to.
Yeah.
It was on the other day, and I got to thinking, because I saw a video of him now after he's had the strokes and stuff. I
Oh,
guess
it
was
looks so
strokes,
different.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's a sad thing to see him now.
it is.
So
Paul Overstreet wrote it and recorded it, and it flopped. And then Randy Travis got, boy, that voice. Y'all remember just how strong it was?
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. 1989, John Denver should have learned a little fate of what was coming. He crashed an airplane on this date in 89. He survived. It was a 1931 airplane. He crashed on landing, walked away without a scratch. And it would be 10 years later that he would not survive the next one. Let's see here. Alan Jackson released a #1 song, Good Time, remember that, in '08?
Oh, yeah.
And it was also on this date that Prince died, 2016.
That was a shocker.
Yeah, and what I didn't know, his name was Rogers Nelson. Did you know that?
No.
That's his real God-given name at birth,
That did
Rogers
not fit
Nelson.
him. The name did not fit the look. Yeah, that he did a good thing by changing his name.
Yeah, Ken Buffington said, you just told everybody your age.
I know. We were talking about my age last night one weekend.
Ooh.
I think he's older than me.
You trying to make him older than you?
No. I'm older than him, I figured out, by several months.
Well, there you go. And also, Queen Elizabeth celebrates her 95th birthday today.
Okay, yeah. They said she wasn't going to do a whole lot of, like, celebrating because of, they're
I don't
still
even-
mourning the death of her.
I don't think she's even doing the portrait that she normally does on her birthday. I think that's out.
Yeah. So, 95 years old, though. That's a big milestone.
It is. So that's a little bit down history lane of what's going on, and it gives you an idea of what happened. Tie a yellow ribbon. Now I want to hear that. That's stuck in my head now.
Well, I'm still got the On the Other Hand song going through my head now. Thank you.
Couldn't help it there.
I'll be hearing that for the rest of the day in my head.
I don't see how this is going to work out in Chicago. They already have the rule before they engage, like a bad guy robs a store and he jumps in a car and he takes off. They have to call it in and get approval from the supervisor to chase the car. Now they're taking that a step further in Chicago, and a foot chase. If you're robbing a place and they walk up on it and you run, they've got to call into headquarters and say, hey, can I chase this guy?
That is crazy.
How can that work?
That's
They're
crazy.
gone. And it tells criminals,
Yeah.
what you going to do? All I got to do is run. You can't touch me.
I guess just pick up something, throw it, and hit him.
Well,
They try to stop him. I don't know.
that would that'd be against police procedure
That's
nowadays.
just crazy. It is crazy. Everything is backwards now.
It is.
Like,
As we were talking about jobs, Mississippi is getting ready to get a bunch more, 1,200 more jobs, as an expansion is going to happen in North Mississippi. We look at this.
That's
Milwaukee Tool is going to expand.
that's a big company right there.
Yeah. Drill, saws. Y'all know the company we're
They've even
talking
got
about.
these neat jackets with warmers.
Oh,
in
the
them.
heaters,
The
yeah.
heated jackets, yeah. That's a neat
So
thing.
you may have to, I don't think you could drive back and forth from here to North Mississippi every day. That'd be a long ride.
That's still great though that
Yeah.
they're making that many jobs for people. Mm-hmm. So, as long as they can get people to work, that's the main thing.
Another thing that at this point, I don't care what you done. If you come at me and say, "Hey, I got this J&J COVID thing," there ain't no way, no matter the amount of money, that I
Yeah.
would take that shot. Would you?
I mean, I'm not right now taking any of them. So
Oh, she's trying to make me look bad over here because I went and took that other one.
no, I mean that's to each their
I'm teasing.
own. If you want to take it, take it. But personally, I'm just waiting. I'm just trying to see, what the outcome's going to be a little months down the road. So I don't know. That is scary though. But then
Look
you
at
got to
this.
think about too, because I heard this yesterday. Like, I mean, what if it's people just really? I mean, I know things have happened with this J&J
Mm-hmm.
COVID shot. But like, what if it's just coincidence? And I mean, what if there's things going on with the other ones that we just hadn't heard so much about? I don't know. I don't know.
There is that.
But yeah, it does put I mean, I wouldn't take it right now.
The J&J, there's no way. But
Right.
As you look at this, 18-year-old Vegas woman, she's been placed in a coma and had to undergo 3 brain surgeries. Now, is it coincidence? We can't tell you
Right.
either way with this.
And,
but
and they're going to try to tweak it and
Correct.
and get it, say we improved it, and then when they put it back out there, are you still going to take? I mean, like, even if they say it's new and improved, I mean, would you still? It still to me would put doubt in people's
And
heads.
we had a South Mississippi man take it and get ill from it, or something happened to him. Again, they say they can't prove that that's what done it, but there's too many coincidences for me to feel comfortable to take the J&J one shot.
Right.
Now, as y'all all seen, there's a lot of people that post their cards on Facebook after they do it, and I've seen some of them mark J&J locally that took it that didn't
Yeah.
have any problems.
Yeah. So, but I mean, it's just like the other shots. I've talked to people that it didn't bother them at all. They just had a little sore spot on their arm, and then I've heard people say, "I felt like I was just dying," you know. So I don't know what the difference is. I don't know if it's just the way your body handles it or your immune system handles it. I don't know.
As a matter of fact, my next door neighbor took his second shot and called me this morning at 4:45 on the way to work and said, "I got something I got to do. I think I'm dying. I feel horrible."
Yeah.
And he's just going in as quick as he could to come back home.
I mean, I've heard of people getting put in the hospital after getting their vaccination. I mean, so it's weird. It's just
My wife, I'm telling you, it didn't phase her. She was 200 strong after it.
Yeah.
I was a little limpish there for a day. But it's your choice if you want to take these. And I think you ought to have the right.
Yeah, I do too.
It's your right to choose. Now, let's move to this next story. And things that make, and maybe I'm reading this headline wrong, that makes you go, "What you talking about, Willis?" As we dig into this, the Oscars are coming up. And what they're planning on is during it, while it's live on television, no one will wear a face mask. When they go to commercial, they will require everybody in the theater to put their mask on. Now, let's use our brains here and think. What good is that going to do?
I don't know. That is just crazy. Yeah, I mean, while you got it off, I mean, if there's any kind of risk of infection, you're giving it to everybody, and then you can put it back on for...
I just, truly, is that just somebody trying to say we're following guidelines to say we done it when, if you, anyway, that is just one of those that makes you go, why are you even doing this?
Crazy.
That's across. Oh, and Kelly Osbourne says, well, yep, I've still got a drinking problem. She's admitted it. She is back on the bottle again. Fell off the wagon. However you want to word it.
Yeah. You know,
that family's had some issues, haven't they?
I feel for people who have people in their families who have drug or alcohol problems, because, I mean, everybody suffers from it.
Yeah.
It's not just the person who has the problem. It's everybody's problem. And, you know, I would imagine for the person who's going through it, it's a horrible, horrible thing to them. But for everybody else, when you see them recovering and you think, oh, you know, and you have all this hope, and because it's something you wanted for so long, and then they relapse, it's just like, it hurts your heart. I mean, because you're going through it again, you know. Then
there's the drunk that doesn't try to straighten it out, or the drug addict that's in the family that just makes everybody's life awful.
It is. I know it is. But I feel like, I mean, it is a horrible thing, but I feel like we got to remember it's a sickness.
It is. It is a disease.
And I think anybody can overcome it with God, you know, but I believe they just have to get to a point to where they have to make the decision, you know. It's sad, though. It's a sad thing, because I've had family members who going through it and gone through it. So prayers for people who are going through it.
Well, Wanda Grantham said that she took the J&J and she ended up okay. It was just kind of like a flu shot. Yeah. Another school tries to scrap more things. A parent speaks up. They're in anger over this. And this is a Brentwood school that is trying to get rid of it. And I've never seen this. You said you've watched The Lord of the Flies. And, of course, I've seen To Kill a Mockingbird many times.
Okay.
But
don't say I watched Lord of the Flies.
Oh, you didn't watch it?
Just speaking. My English teacher, I'm just big. We read the book in our senior English class.
Right.
We were supposed to read the book.
I heard a word, suppose.
But
Are you admitting to
they
guilt?
had this little thing called Cliff Notes.
Oh.
You ever heard those Cliff
I have.
Notes? Yeah. We weren't supposed to, you know, well, we did. We had this teacher, Miss Horn.
Didn't know any better that you done that, is what you're saying.
And anybody that went to West Lauderdale knows Miss Horn or knew her. She knew everything about these books. If you read the Cliff Notes, she knew you read the Cliff Notes by listening to what you were talking about. I mean, you could not outsmart this woman.
You couldn't fool her.
You couldn't fool her. You might have thought you could, but you couldn't fool her. So anyway, but I'm familiar with The Lord of the Flies.
But, you know, we don't need to be banning books. History's history is what the moral of that story is. You know, this was in the news this week about the last week of, there's been so many different police shootings. This was the headline that comes from Knoxville High School. You remember the guy, that the police shot? Mm-hmm. It ends up being that the mother, he beat up his girlfriend pretty bad, and the mother of that child called the police and said, hey, he beat up my kid. They went to the school, and he had a gun at school, and then one thing led to another. Mm-hmm. So a bad apple by all means there had caused a lot of turmoil. Here, if this isn't socialism, I don't know what is. As they start a program, and I believe this is Los Angeles in California. Yeah, Los Angeles, they're going to give 2,000 families $1,000 a month. And you know, as I was sitting here running that through my mind, it goes right back to what you just mentioned a moment ago of giving more money to the kids. It's all about the same at this point. Somebody's going to end up having to pay for all this. The money will run out. I'm not saying that that those families don't need it, but have a program to where they earn it. Do something for the city.
Right.
That's what I would think. Earn your money. But let's see. Other news is I do not agree with this whatsoever. And we talk about God a lot. Each one of us are sinners.
Yes.
And what is so hard for the average person to understand is each sin in God's eye is the same. So if you overeat hamburgers and that's your sin, it's the same thing as, well, committing adultery or doing something worse. In God's eye, it is the same. As you go to the story, we go to Georgia, and she's a lesbian, and she was informed by the church that she's going to be excommunicated and banned from the church unless she repents for what she's done. They would have to do that to the entire church to be fair about that. You can't do that. God wants sinners in his church because he changes.
Right. Now, I guess if you're some kind of a person
A
who
deacon.
is in the church, like a higher up person who
If you're a deacon and you
right,
represent the church,
I understand that,
can't do that.
and you need to be held to stand. Everybody, needs to do the right thing, but I don't agree with that. I don't agree with them
Again,
doing that.
sin is sin.
Yes, sin is sin, and everybody, to me, one's not. It's a sin.
It is harder for us to
But
understand
you're
that.
supposed to welcome people into the church, and to me, if they have a sin, that is between them and God.
Yeah.
It's not for people to bash them within the church. I would feel like everybody deserves to be loved, and everybody deserves to be welcome, and I just don't agree with that.
It's not like she's the head deacon Sunday school teacher and they're
Right.
going, okay, you represent the church.
I don't agree with a lot of people's stuff. I don't believe that they shouldn't be able to come to church or shouldn't be able to praise God. And like I said, that is between them and God. They have to answer for their, sins or what the way they live or the way they, the things they do. It's not for us to judge.
Yeah, that's one of the stories, though. Amazon is breaking into a new business, into your line of work, from what I understand here, of taking on haircut and stuff here or there. They're going to have some hair salons.
Okay.
So just thought you'd know. Amazon has kind of got their hand into everything these days, if you're not keeping up with what's going on out there. Let's see here. This is a common thing here, is trying to keep your tennis shoes clean.
Yeah.
How do you do it?
We were just, me and my older son the other day, he had some white tennis shoes, and we were scrubbing the fire, just trying to get them. And I was like, please don't buy those white tennis shoes, because they're not going to be white next week.
But this lady says that she's learned the trick to it.
We need to know it.
And let me pull this up, and we'll just scan through this. This is her, and she's lost a lot of weight, and that's nice of her. Glad she done that. But you get down in here, she spilled coffee on her shoes, and it's 3 simple ingredients: washing powder, a cap full of napson, and a cap full of bleach. I don't know what that is.
Napson?
We got to investigate that.
Yeah, anybody know what that is? Let us know.
So I guess I should have looked that up before we talked about it, but napson. Anyway, she did lose a lot of weight. But what does that have to do with cleaning your shoes? I have no idea.
I don't know either.
I guess that's just a little extra bonus there. But that's the word there, Napisan.
Now, I know they make this, what is the, there's this soap. What is it called? Maybe that's what that is that she's talking about. But I thought it was like in a bar of soap.
Let's see. It's kind of like an OxyClean. Here's what I'm getting off of.
Vanish, Napson, Oxy Action. I need to find that.
So maybe that is something we all need to buy there.
Yeah.
Let's pull up what the product looks like there.
Because look, every day.
Here it is. There you go.
Okay, I need to. Every day I'm getting grass stains out of school pants and red dirt out of baseball pants. Stuff. I got the OxyClean stuff going.
But that's almost as
scrubbing.
high as a pair of tennis shoes. That's $70 for that. Maybe it lasts a long
I wonder
time.
if you have to just order that. I hadn't seen that on the shelves at Walmart.
I hadn't
but,
either.
I might have just missed it. I'm going to look, though.
So well, there you go. That's one of the things there that you can get and be a part of.
Yeah.
Maybe it works. I don't know. Gives you something to think about.
Yeah.
Let's take a minute and talk about, as we talked about, local businesses. Tiffany Blue's Decor and Boutique. She's got a bunch going on. And I got two different things that I wanted to show from her today as we look at this. Let's go to her Facebook page and look at what she's got going on. Of course, you can find her here in North Hills, right next there to, what's the name of that?
The Atrium.
The
It's
Atrium.
next to Mugshots.
Mugshots. That's what I couldn't think of. But she just got in this shipment here of furniture that have come in there. Lamps, modern clothing. Look at
Yeah,
that.
look at the modern like artwork and it's really nicely framed. I mean, it's not just a canvas stuck up on the wall. It's got a nice frame around it. And a lot of gold leafing on those.
Yeah.
That's really big right now. That's in style. But rustic, like that little cart that
Yeah.
she's got right there. Those are really neat. I mean, you can use them as a sofa table. You can use them as an end table in your living room, all kind of stuff. But guys, if you are looking for something for your girlfriend, your wife, or just,
Right.
anybody in the family for a
And that's
gift,
that cart there.
you need to
Yeah.
go to the Atrium or to Quitman, to
Yeah.
Archie's Avenue.
Yeah.
Rustic Couture.
The Rustic Couture.
That's right. But this
Couture.
is really cute. These, I don't know if this would be like a swimsuit cover up. Kind of
Mm-hmm.
looks like that. These are really cute little tops that you can wear with jeans or anything with little tassels on them. I mean, you can dress it up, dress it down. And like I said, she's got these like new concrete urns. I mean, you can sit these around with nothing in them, and they're really cute. You can put these little like wooden balls in them.
Yeah, I forgot about
You can
that.
put plants in them outside. You can use them inside or outside. She's got just a array of new things in.
Right.
And really cute little tea towels if you like to hang those in your bathroom or in your kitchen or around your house. Really cute things with little sayings on them. And a lot of times seasonal things, like for Easter, she had some really
Right.
cute things.
Mother's Day is right around the corner
That's
as well.
right. That's right. You need to go and visit Tiffany Blue.
See her. She's got a bunch there for you here at the Atrium here in Meridian. Check that out. Let's see. Yeah, Mother's Day is right around
It
the corner. Don't you
is.
be forgetting about your mama.
Gosh, it is. Everything's just flying by.
It is. I just, this year, can you believe we're getting into May already?
No, I cannot believe it. I can't believe it. My son's birthday, he'll be 18. I just can't believe that. That's crazy. Crazy.
And if you think you're making payments on your home and you think, boy, this is high, think about these poor folks that live in New York. I saw this yesterday and I thought, there is no way that I could pay this. Imagine having an apartment so small that your kitchen and bathroom are all together. And on top of that, you pay $1,600 a month to live there. That's what happens when you hit New York and these areas there.
You have got to really, really, really want to be a New Yorker to pay $1,600 a month for something that you bathe and cook in the same room.
And let me scroll down here. This is a prime example of that. There's your kitchen and there's your tub.
Yeah.
So if you got company over, you can't be doing the same thing.
To me, I don't know about you, but that's just a little unsanitary seeming to me.
It could be. I just, but I guess you got to do what you got to do to survive in those towns.
Yeah, you do, I guess, but
Now-
I would not. I'd move.
Would not be your thing.
Right, move away.
Now, I posted this last night, and I totally, it gets under my craw because it's not right. Number one, if you were arrested and put in jail, and then they proved that you were not guilty of the crime that you went to jail for, they should be more than nice to you.
Yeah.
This gentleman was jailed for 14 months. He gets out, and they want to charge him $4,008 for being in jail because they fed him.
Right.
Now-
Because somebody stole his.
Yeah, no, what happened was they
Wi-Fi, I guess.
accused him of child porn.
Right.
He lived in an apartment complex and his IP address popped up. So they go in and they seize everything in his house. Well, they couldn't find anything, nothing on his computers. Well, it turns out that somebody in that apartment complex, like you said, stole his password and was logging in on his system.
Or sometimes if you don't even have to have a password and you don't have a lock on your Wi-Fi, because you can
Yeah.
set it to lock, right?
Yes,
to
you
where
can.
people can't.
You have to have a password to get
Yeah,
into
so
it.
people can't steal. So always make sure you have a password.
And this man went to jail for something that he didn't do, and he finally gets out, and then they send him a bill for $4,000 for feeding him.
That's
It
ridiculous.
looks like there'd be a lawsuit for wrongful imprisonment.
Right. I mean, surely to goodness he would have a case there. 14 months in prison. Can you imagine for 14 months?
And there's the gentleman there. And this is where he got to spend 14 months of his life there.
And I mean, and they ain't real nice to people who are
No.
child pornography people.
No, they're
from
not.
what I've heard. So can you imagine what he could have possibly gone through?
And
Yeah, I'd definitely hire a lawyer.
well, the problem and what he said was when he went to court, he could not afford, a good attorney. He had no money. And he was hit with all this, so he took the city, whoever it is they give you.
like a probe.
Yeah, and you are only as good as your attorney. In any case that happens to you, remember that. And this poor
Yeah.
man went to jail for something that he did not do. And of course, he said he's since then had to move because all of his friends, he says, regardless of what happened, they think I did it.
Right.
And he goes, my life is ruined.
That's horrible. Yeah.
I thought you might want to know that. Ted Nugent admits that he had COVID. I didn't know that. He was one of those in the beginning that said, hey, this is a conspiracy thing. Ain't no such thing.
Yeah.
But he did get it. And he's admitted to it. Mr. Handsome there. Now, I have to admit, I've never listened to one song Ted Nugent ever done.
I've never heard any music
nothing.
either. I've just listened to him
I know-
talk on these like hunting shows
Yeah.
and just different things,
That's what he's famous for now. But, yeah.
He speaks his mind. I will tell you that.
Ooh, boy. Here's something that I'm not so sure that I trust, Candace.
What?
And of course, you can track your spouse now with their cell phone. If you want to know if they're telling you the truth, where they're eating, you just, whoop, there it is. That's where they are.
Yeah.
But Apple is coming out with a thing. In one degree, it is good.
If you're a person who loses your keys all the time,
Yeah.
I mean, a handful of people,
Yeah. If you misplace them, but they've got a thing that you put on your key ring and then track your car keys and find them in the couch, wherever it is that you put them, which is great. But if you're on the other end of this going, somebody's following me now.
Don't you imagine that they're probably going to put them in everybody's key fobs
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, you're right.
without you even knowing you got it in there, probably?
So just something to think on there.
Yeah.
The next thing that we bring up, have you seen this where Pat Sajak gives away the answer?
No, I have not seen this.
Let me pull this up. Let me see if it will play here.
I'd rather be standing here than there, frankly.
Did you hear what you said?
I did right after.
I don't know if I can get it back to where he says it. Let's see if we can. It just didn't work in there, is it?
Yikes. Well, I'd rather be standing here than there, frankly.
Did you hear what you said?
I did right after.
And you have to listen really careful to catch it. But Pat Sajak gives the answer to this.
Oh.
And the guy, whoop, right over his head.
Yeah.
And he did mine too. I had to listen to it 4 times before I caught him to where he said it. But he did give away the answer to the puzzle, and the guy didn't know it. That wasn't impressive, was it?
No.
You couldn't actually
I
hear
used to
it good.
watch Wheel of Fortune all the time. I mean, at one time I was really good at figuring out these puzzles. And I kept thinking, I need to go on there because I could win some money. But
I ain't never got a clue what that
really-
stuff is.
Now, Jeopardy, that's another whole level right there. I don't see how in the world these people know all that stuff.
Jeopardy is tough.
It is. I mean, to me, I don't know if they give them this book and they go study this. Study this book because all this is going to be possibly on there. I don't know how they do it.
I don't think I can carry on a conversation with anybody that can play on Jeopardy.
Yeah.
I mean, because
I have an issue with asking a question to give the answer.
it's real weird.
Yeah.
It
What
ain't from.
is
Is
this?
it
What is
maybe for somebody on a higher brain level than me?
I
is
guess.
that?
Me too. So.
Hey, y'all throw on Family Feud. I'm all about it.
Oh, yeah, I love Family Feud now. You don't ever know what these people are going to say. It is the funniest thing.
It is.
Some of the stuff these people come up with.
Now, and I know they had a few other people in between Richard Dawson and Steve Harvey that, well, you don't even remember who they are now. But those two are the two that really made the show famous.
Richard Dawson, he was the one that kissed everybody.
Yeah.
That was kind of creepy.
Well, I guess back then it wasn't.
Yeah.
It proved I'm manly. I like women's.
Yeah.
So creepy. So you're saying you wouldn't have let him kiss you on the cheek like he did all those other
Well,
women?
I mean, if I'm standing there and he did it, I guess I'd have to. But I don't know. I wouldn't like it. No.
But I don't think there was hardly ever a woman on there that didn't kiss him.
Oh, it was probably the thing back then. I mean, so was smoking though. Like on a lot of things,
Yeah.
people smoked, on TV all the time now. Crazy.
That's all gone too.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, Richard
Yeah.
Dawson would be hit with a lawsuit for getting near me and invading my
Oh, yeah.
space. We all know how
Saying
that
the
works.
wrong thing.
Yeah. Let's take a moment to talk about our friends that are going to help you out when it comes to plumbing, and that's our friends at Master Flow Plumbing. Now, they take care of everybody in the Hattiesburg area south to the coast. A big area there for them to cover, and if you've got problems, they want you to call them. This is what they do. If you've got a problem underneath your home, that's no issue. They can dig it out, find the problem, fix it, and put your house back to the way it was before it all went down. This is one of the homes that they've dug out, and they'll put all the dirt back in after it's all said and done. Replacing main water lines, if your sewer system, and this will happen, say somebody delivers something in a big truck in your yard, runs across the grass, bust those pipes. I know someone not long ago this happened to, and then toilets won't flush, everything's backing up in the house, and it's all because it got busted because somebody drove over your line. They can dig it up, fix it, no time flat, take care of it. Here's one that had pretty much the same kind of deal there, where they had to go back in and fix that, replace a section. As you go through this, water lines, they can repair it. This is the big nasty is what we call this. The slab leak. And what do? Well, they can reroute it, fix it for you there. See them. Give them a call because you don't want your house flooded by any means there. A common thing here is these get old quickly and wear out before you know it. Is it toothpaste that causes that?
I don't know what causes it. I think
Or
people
just
just
old water?
like snatching on the little thing too hard and all that. I don't know, like when they're trying to stop up the sink. I know mine like just came completely out of the faucet thing. one time.
So check it out. They can do that. And of course, this is cleaning your drains out. $125 they'll come do this. They're not going to charge you to arrive. It's a flat $125. Then they're going to guarantee it for 60 days after that they're going to remain free. So a great deal there. Most places are going to charge you $100 or more for just showing up. They're not doing that. Talk to them. See, Galen, if you need a new water heater, boy, that's a nasty thing to replace yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Involves water and electricity, two things I don't want to mix. They're the professionals. Let them handle that for you and get it in for you. Any toilet problems, and again, a lot of folks that try to do this on their own over tighten them, and you go buy a $200-300 toilet, and you bust it.
Right.
Okay, I might have done that once.
Did you?
I might have.
Did you think you were a plumber, Scotty
like
Ray?
walked off into the other room, and I heard the ding. Over
gosh.
tightened it, and it busted the whole pedestal.
Oh,
So
golly.
anybody can do that. They're not going to. Master Flow Plumbing, they're 36 years of experience, licensed, insured, Mississippi Gulf Coast area all the way to Hattiesburg. Call them at 228-870-0471. Again, Master Flow Plumbing. They'll help you out there.
Says when your drains don't work, they do.
There you go. Wednesday, as we get ready for, again, some more severe weather moving in this weekend. Friday night into Saturday is what we're expecting there.
I just hope it doesn't get really, really bad because you know how I am with bad weather.
Well, you're going to get a lot of rain. We're saying anywhere from 1 to 3 inches of rain is what's going to happen here.
If you need to cut your grass, you better get it cut before this weekend.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
So get on that and make sure that that's taken care of.
Because it might be a few days after that before you can get it cut.
So that kind of takes care of most everything that's going on today and the headlines of what's going on. I'll be here throughout the day to give you what happens. Also, breaking weather details as these storms approach. I'll be letting you know about that as well. Anything that we need to? Oh yeah, the
Food drive. Food drive is today. I guess it starts at 11 today, but now they were already lining up like at 8:15. He said they had like 30 cars already in line. So if you have not headed out there, you need to get on out there because they just give it away till it's gone. So if you know somebody who needs food, you can go pick it up for them. And I just think this is a great thing that they do every week.
Yeah, and I was making sure that there was no changes, and nope, it is still at the normal time today. Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department doing that, along with the Meridian Police Department. They're working hard at it also to get that taken care of. So big thank you to them for all that work they do. So a lot goes on behind the scenes that nobody really realizes.
I know. I mean, a lot of people help make that happen, so we want to thank everybody.
The East Mississippi Hub needs your help on Friday if you want to help with the cleanup in Meridian as they pick up litter. Talk to them. You can visit their Facebook page also to find out to head to the United Way. I think is kind of where everybody is meeting, and from there they're dispersed to go clean up the town.
Yes, I think Casey Culpepper heads that
Yes.
up, and we appreciate her.
Oh,
for
she's
doing
done
that.
a great
Yes.
job with that.
Yes.
So, all right, we say thank you to everyone who watched this morning. We appreciate you. We'll be back tomorrow morning. Any goodbyes? Anybody? Any high school people that you missed out on this morning? Say.
Just everybody. I love you. I don't know if we got any more.
Bailey said you lose your keys a lot there.
No, I used to. I have lost them several times, but I used to be really bad about locking them in my car with it running. That was my daddy used to get all over me for doing
That's
that.
before the keypad came out.
Yeah, he'd have to always get the little Slim Jim thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'd get mad at me for doing that.
Do you know
it was
what
just
is
habit?
Sad? My four-wheel drive has got that, and I ain't got a clue what that push-button thing is.
Oh, really?
If I lock them, I'm going to bust window because I do not know what the keypad is or how to correct it or change it. Guess I could go down to the Ford dealership and let them tell me that. But
Yeah. I don't know. Some of the keys now you can't lock you can't lock them in your car because it won't lock it with the key fob in there. I don't know.
yeah, first time I drove somebody's car that didn't have where you stick the key in, I'm sitting there. You know how you stare around for a few minutes and you can't find where to stick the key? That key fob.
I have
cranker.
a push button thing on mine.
You boy, look at you. My 1981 does not.
Well,
All
my
right.
Honda didn't either. So
There you go. We appreciate y'all so much for being part of this. Gail says be safe. Lynn says good morning. Just a whole bunch of folks. We appreciate each and every one of y'all joining us this morning. Means a lot. We'll see y'all bright and early tomorrow morning.
Scotty Ray's Weather is brought to you by